Hey, y'all. I'm excited. We're going to talk about maximizing your experience, maximizing ketones, maximizing this product. I know we have a huge amount of people tuning in literally all over the world. So really quick, my hat is crooked and it's all backwards in the screen. So I'm like, I can't get it straight. Hey, we got a huge audience literally all over the world. I know a lot of people from Scotland and Northern Ireland are chiming in right now. I'm going to actually go on my other page so I can see them live come in. But hey, do me a favor as you come on. A, where are you from? C, A, B, B, what result do you want? What's that number one result? Hi, Lucy. How are you? What's that number one result you want from ketones and ketosis and being in ketosis? That's what I'd love to know, because here's what we're going to do is we're going to take 10, 15 minutes and talk about maximizing ketosis. And I have a good friend of mine. He's always like, if you can't say it in 3 minutes, it's too long. And I go, well, if you don't have 10 to 15 minutes to change your life forever, then you're not that excited about changing your life. And he goes, good point. So we're going to take a second and really dive into this. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty amped up, if you would say, and I can't wait to share some information. So I need to know where you're from and what benefit do you want? Because what I want to do is I want to give you some really high level coaching. What I don't want to do is tell you what you should do, but it's not what result you're looking for, right? If I get on with the top athlete and I talk about fat loss, that it might not work. If I talk about athleticism and performance and you're like, I just want to lose 10 pounds and feel sexy in my clothes, well, I got to talk about that. So I really want to know as we move forward, y'all, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, where you at? Come on, where you at? Let me see here. I'm pulling up some comments here. Ooh, can't do that one. I got to turn that one off. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Scotland, there it is. Laura in the house. What benefit are you looking for? Where are you from? I want to give you some coaching. Like I said, I'm going to take 10, 15 minutes to do this. I'm warming you up a little bit, knowing that I would say, hey, Pamela from Ohio, Northern Ireland. There it comes. Here it comes. Knowing that 80%, I made that number up. I don't know if it's true or not, but 80%-ish people, fat loss is their number one thing. They're going, I want to lose fat. How do I lose fat? All I care about is losing fat. Now, in your brain, you're maybe saying weight loss. I'm saying fat loss because you don't want to lose weight. You do want to lose body fat. You actually, no matter where you are in your life, you want to be really good at metabolizing body fat, because it's a primitive process that our body was designed to do really well. And it's about keeping us alive. It's keeping us healthy. It's keeping us feeling super amazing. So that's number one. Number two, what's the process? What's the path? How easy can we make this? And I will tell you what, most people complicate it. I know I'm prone to complicating things. If you're like me and you complicate things, give me a little, put a 1 in the chat. I complicate things. The reason we complicate things is because we don't have usually enough patience to appreciate the process. To give you an example, if anybody there wants to lose some body fat, how much, I'll use Melanie. Melanie won't mind. She won't mind. Melanie wanted to lose 100 pounds in 1 year, right? I think she's down almost 60 pounds now, and it's been 1 year. Just under 60 she hit. So the reality is she wanted to lose that weight in 1 year, and it didn't happen as fast as she wanted to. Melanie could have did a couple of things. Melanie could have literally said, well, it's not working for me, I'm going to stop. Or she could say, hey, these are all the other benefits, and I realize it's a journey and a process, because there are some plateaus. She actually gained some weight through the holidays, but she was able to make some adjustments back down. That's part of the process. But what I can tell you is this, is she didn't gain the 100 pounds in a year. Does that make sense? She didn't gain the 100 pounds in a year, so to expect it to come off in a year is kind of unrealistic, right? The rule of thumb is this. For every year it took you to get to where you are, it's going to take you that many months to undo it. So if you gained 100 pounds in a year, then maybe you can lose it in a year, but most people can't gain 100 pounds in a year. So if it's taking you 20 years to get as unhealthy as you are today, expect 20 months to undo it all. Now, good chances are we're going to do it faster than that. But what I want to do is I want to basically give you, set you up for success and expectations. Now you're like, Dustin, just tell me how to do this. Tell me how to do this. The reality is what I'm going to tell you is very simple. If you don't quit, if you quit, you're never going to get there. I'm going to say that again. What I'm going to tell you is really simple. But if you quit, you're never going to get there. This system has been proven. It's going to work. Guaranteed, it's going to work if you're willing to continue the process and work through the process. So this is what I want you to do. Ready? Y'all ready for this? It's going to be simple. It's going to be simple. Now, I'm not going to talk about good, better, best today. I am going to just give you some pointers on there isn't a perfect formula for any one person. You have to learn and figure this out for yourself. We're going to give you the framework and the guidance to be able to figure it out, which is power. We're giving you power to make choices and decisions that work for you, knowing that none of us are perfect, none of us know everything, and we're always going to be evolving that process. And really quick, Melanie, do you guys all see the mission to the million? You see it? It's up finally. I gotta go this way. It's up finally. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Yeah! Okay, here we go. What I want you in the morning, first thing I want you to do is I want you to get up and have a big glass of water. What is why? People need to hydrate better. They're just not hydrating well, especially if you live in the desert area, you live in America. Europeans, maybe you guys hydrate better than I do, or Northern Irelanders. I don't know how you say that. So big glass of water. What's a big glass of water? I don't know. I like a lot. I can do 12 ounces, 16 ounces at one shot. If that's too much for you, then do 3 ounces, 4 ounces. But what I want you to do, Christy, is I want you to have a nice big glass of water first thing in the morning. I highly encourage you to take a pinch of sea salt, Celtic sea salt, real sea salt, and put in there. Just a pinch. It gives some minerals in there. Very good mineralized sea salt. Okay, that's all I want you to do first thing in the morning. The second thing I want you to do in the morning, sometime between when you wake up and before 9 a.m. in the morning, sometime from when you wake up before 9. If you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you have to work, just adjust everything a few hours, if that makes sense. So I'm giving you generalities here because we have people that wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to get on a radio show, or they're going to take their products all earlier because that's their morning. So within, let's say, 2 to 3 hours of waking up, I want you to shake up this. You don't have this flavor over there across the pond, but it's really good. So I want you to shake up a flavor. I want you to put it water. I like it on ice. You don't have to use ice. You can actually drink this warm. Put it in I like a lot of water. Shake it up and drink it down over 30 minutes. So a glass of water, and then you're going to make your ketones up. And yes, I'm assuming right now, if you're watching this, you're drinking ketones. If you're not drinking ketones, you should be drinking ketones if you want to change your life and get healthier. Science is super clear. You won't be able to do it long-term on your own, maybe for a week or two, but long-term, you're probably not going to get there. So I hope you the best of luck, but you're probably not going to get there. So whoever invited you, get the product get in this product, start using it right away. All right. Sorry, Eric. I showed him a flavor that we can't get over there. I'm sorry. It was the only one on my desk. So drink the product over 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Drink it slowly. Let it absorb. Let it digest. Let it uptake ketones. Here's where it gets really fun, y'all. If you like your coffee, drink it. If you like coffee, drink it. Don't stop doing if you love coffee that makes you feel this, oh my God, I love coffee, drink your coffee. If you don't like coffee, don't start drinking it. The only rule is that if you have coffee, please put something low carb in it or nothing at all. So heavy cream, keto cream, which is what I use every single morning. I use keto cream in my coffee. I got to get my desk set up here. I got a keto cream in my coffee. And then I have my ketones and I have my keto. You can do it in either order. You can do your keto cream first with your coffee and then your ketones, or you can do ketones first and coffee after. It doesn't care. What I don't want you to do, be really aware of, is putting things in your coffee that are sweet or have a lot of artificial sweeteners or things that are just not good for you. That's going to slow down your ultimate results. Okay. Now, next step, you drink your water, you drink your ketones, have coffee if it's optional, and don't eat until you're hungry. Don't eat until you're hungry. I'm going to give you a couple little pro tips here in a second. Most people will have their first meal sometime between 11 and 2. What that did is that created an intermittent fasting state where you're going to start to accelerate results. Now, I have a lot of high-level athletes do the same thing. So this can be for anybody. Anti-aging, longevity, energy, and fat loss. Primarily, this is for you. It's super awesome. Have your first meal midday between 11 and 2. Now, if you want to drop more body fat, if you want to accelerate fat loss, one tip I want to give you is you need to start becoming lower carb. Okay. You need to start becoming low carb, less carbs, less carbs, less carbs. So what does that look like? That might be a piece of protein And that may be a low carb vegetables like spinach, cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, right? And you might be going, I don't like any of that stuff. Well, too dang bad. If you want to get healthy, you want to get skinny, start eating better. I'm being mean. I'm being mean. But here's the reality is the product is going to carry and give you a lot of these amazing benefits, but you do need to play a certain role for yourself. So what you want to start doing is you want to start dropping out potatoes, breads, starches, rice, pasta, even like sweet potatoes, like some carby vegetables. They're going to slow down your results. Fruits can slow down your results, especially if fat loss is your goal. If you're hard working out, if you're already lean and fit, you're already buff, then you can get away with more carbohydrates. I would start with more natural carbs like fruits and root vegetables would be where I'd start with those if you're going to have those. You're going to start dropping your carbohydrates down, okay? Eliminate those things. Salads are great. Just choose a lower carb dressing. I don't want you to add everything up. I don't want you to count everything, but we're going to make this simple. Have your first meal. You're going to eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. In the past, you probably ate a big lunch. Now you're going to have a smaller lunch because you're not going to be as hungry. Protein is king. You want to eat some protein, okay? Protein and low carb vegetables. Now, afternoon, you don't eat again until you're hungry. Some of you are like, I'm not hungry till dinner. Great. Wait till dinner to eat. You don't need to eat a bunch of nuts. You don't need to eat a bunch of snacks in the middle of the day. Now, if you are getting hungry in the middle of the day, or if your energy levels are dropping, or if you're just not feeling super awesome in the middle of the day, or if you're moody or grumpy or frustrated, guess what you're going to do? Have a second keto nat. Secret weapon, have a second keto nat. Now, why would you do that? Is because it's going to give you energy, focus, vitality. It's going to help with cravings and help you with making better decisions, make you feel good. Now, if you like our Keto Pro and you have Keto Pro over there across the pond, we just released our new chocolate over there. You could also have a Keto Pro in the afternoon. You could swap them out. You can have a Keto Pro or you can do a Keto Nat. Now, if you need more focus, more energy in the brain, I would choose the Keto Nat. If you need more of an appetite or you're having hunger or if you really wanted cravings or something you want to eat, I would do a Keto Pro. That would be my choice between the two. That's how I would do that. So mental power and focus, Keto Nat. Food and hunger and cravings, Keto Pro. Now they're going to give you each other too, but they're going to be more prioritized that way. Dinner. Same thing as lunch. Proteins and vegetables. Protein and vegetables. Protein and vegetables. Choose the best low carb options. Get creative, have fun. We make chicken and olives and thyme. We use some broccoli or cauliflower and super delicious. You can have steak and vegetables. You can have any kind of protein. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. Get creative, okay? And then I want you to have your last meal. I don't have your last meal. I want you to eat and don't eat after 8 p.m. That's what I want to say. The sooner you have your last meal, if you can have it at 5 or 6 o'clock before you go to bed, the more you're going to metabolize body fat, the better it typically is for you. Okay. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Dustin, how long did it take for your sister to start seeing results? Oh, that's a good question. So my sister took 8 weeks. Now we saw results in my sister. It took her 8 weeks. So listen, I'll tell you, this is working from day one. From day one, it's working. I'm telling you, it's working from day one. It took you many years to get to where you are. Your ketones and ketosis is not about you losing body fat. It's about you getting healthier, which ultimately leads to long-term results in body fat forever, for maintaining your results, energy, focus, mental clarity, mood, focus, every of these body fat. This is what this is about. It's about solving for X. It's about solving the problem of obesity and overweight and tiredness and fatigue and moods. This is solving for that. You do not have another option. I'm telling you, 20 plus years in this career, you do not have another option if you want to live the most life and high vitality. You don't. Been doing this product for 6 years, and guess what? I've seen people start first week, quit. I wasn't getting results. They all came back. Guess what? Because 3 years later, nothing worked. Now they stick on it. And they're like, oh, I should have just stayed on it longer. Yes, you should have. You shouldn't just stop so early. Come on. Scientifically, this is the most evident thing. So in the morning, you're going to have your water, your ketones. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Eat a low carb lunch. If you don't know what low carb lunches are, ask people. Ask people. I can give you a million suggestions. Ask people. I'm going to give you a couple tips in a second. Lunch or afternoon snack. If you need a snack, either a nat or keto pro. That's what I recommend for a snack in the afternoon. And then dinner, low carb dinners. This is simple, low carb dinners, protein and vegetables. I know it's sometimes boring, but I'm going to give you some outs. I'm going to give you some leeway here. This is what I want you to do. If you're more committed to the journey, if you're more committed to the process, we talk about the good, better, best. Melanie here she was committed to the process. She wasn't committed to the 100 pounds as much as she was to the journey of living better. Right now, her entire family has completely transformed their life, which is pretty awesome. Does it mean their life is perfect? No, they got life. We got kids, we got COVID, we got all these things going on, but they're in a better direction, a better place than they've been in many, many, many years. So if you're committing to the journey, this is what I want you to do, is don't focus so much on low carb, focus on the obvious things you need to eliminate from your diet and from your life. Meaning if it's sweets, if it's start picking things just to get out of the house and get rid of. And don't focus so much on, I have to be perfect, I have to be low carb, I have to do this, I have to do that. Get those gone, okay? Just appreciate the journey, because I promise you this, if you eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, and you just make the best choices, let's say you go out to dinner, and you're like, there's all these amazing choices, this is my best choice that I will enjoy, that's the lowest carb. I don't care how many carbs are in it, and you choose that, that's a win. That's a celebration. You did great. That's people that are living towards the journey. They're not rushing to a result. They're knowing that their body will transform over time, because this thing right here is the biggest game changer I've ever seen in my career. So allow it to be continuous. Allow it to be processed. Don't try to make it perfect. But if you're like, I got to do it right now, I got to be perfect, I got to follow it strict, well, then I told you what to do. Do what I just told you. If you're just jumping on now, go back and do what I just told you to do, and it will work wonderful. Now, I'm going to give you a couple pro tips. Here's a couple pro tips. One, can you move your body more? I don't care if it's 5 or 10 minutes or an hour. Move more. We'll go for walks. Get out and move your body. Motion. A body in motion will accelerate results in every element of your life. It accelerates ketones to your brain, your muscles. You enjoy it better. Number 2, please do not Google the ketogenic diet and think that that's what you have to do. Okay, please do not Google the ketogenic diet and think what you have to do. Now, can you do keto with this? Yes, 6 months to a year. 6 months to a year. Take time to learn the keto diet, because most people start increasing their fat intake really fast. They don't understand carbohydrates that well yet. They're malnourished. They're not figuring out their body, and then they're not feeling super good because they changed too many things too quickly. Allow it to be a process. It took me a year to learn the ketogenic diet. And I actually know a lot about health and wellness. I've been doing it. I knew my body really well too. It took me a year. Now, a lot more education out there today than there was when I started. So be patient if that's what you want to do, but don't go out and start increasing your fat intake. Start focusing on low carb, healthy proteins, and drink your ketones and drink your keto pro, and enjoy the journey. Okay. Can you do keto? Yes. Can you intermittent fast? Yes. Intermittent fasting will just happen naturally if you eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. But I want to give you one more pro tip. Here's one more pro tip. If you want to accelerate fat loss, this is what I want you to do. I want you at least 3 times a week, I want you to replace your lunch with Keto Pro. I just got this from Dr. Jacob Wilson, who's one of the top doctors in the world in this. He goes, for at least 3 days, you can do 3 or 4. I wouldn't do more than that, either 3 or 4 days. Replace your lunch with a Keto Pro. So you have a Keto Nat, Keto Pro, and then the rest of the days is just as we just described. So it's Keto Nat in the morning, Keto Pro. You're not going to have your first meal till dinner time. You're going to create a longer fasting state, and it's going to be really cool. And that will help accelerate some fat loss for people that want to accelerate fat loss. So, all right, I got a couple questions in here. That's simple. The journey is the process. I promise you, my sister, if she would have quit in the first 8 weeks when she wanted to, every day, that isn't working. That isn't working. We saw her changing. She didn't see it fast enough. She wasn't happy fast enough. Guess what? She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy in her own life. She wasn't happy in her day-to-day life. If you're rushing this journey, look in. I'm not going to get too Mitch on you. I'm not going to get too emotional on you, but I'm just telling you, like, we got to grow in every element of our life. And my sister was not in a good place herself. My wife took her 6 weeks. She was not in a good place when she started. 6 weeks. It took her to stop to feel better, meaning that she stopped. She felt really bad. And then she took it again. She's like, oh my God, it is working. I'm like, I know it's been working. You've been so much happier. You've been smiling more. So take your time through this journey, y'all. It will change your life forever. My sister's now down 100 pounds, and it took a few years. It took like 4 years for it to all happen. Majority of it the 80 came off sooner, and then the rest of it just took time. Guess what? She was focusing on living and enjoying her life, and the rest took care of itself. Guess what? She is healthy, happy, having fun, enjoying. She's over 50. She's enjoying every year to come now instead of worrying about a mountain that she was not climbing. So let me ask this question. I see Melanie had a question about the scale. The scale is probably the biggest enemy of people. Now, it can inspire some, and it can hurt a lot of other people. And the reason why is the scale doesn't measure your health. It has no measurement of your health. It's one variable of a lot of things. And so if you do weigh yourself, I would say if you weigh yourself often, no more than once a week, preferably no more than once a month, and ideally twice a year. That's kind of the optimal range, especially if you get emotionally triggered on the scale. So if you get on the scale and you get emotional before you get on the scale, if you get that little, or if you get off the scale and you're like, oh, if you feel any of those, the scale is your enemy and you should get rid of it. If you go down the scale and you're like, I'm not down today, but boy, it's on. Let's go do this and let's go move our body and let's do better. Then the scale is your friend. Go use it. It's a motivator for you. But if it's not a motivator for you, get rid of it because it's actually going to hinder your results long term. And I guarantee you this forever, ever. If you want to see some of the most emotionally wrecked people, go look at people in their 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s that use the scale regularly that aren't happy. They use the wrong measurement tool. Here they have beautiful kids and family. They're alive. They are on this earth. They have all these amazing things, and yet they're letting that one thing stop them or slow them down. So that scale can be really dangerous for people. So I encourage people to get rid of it. What if you're more active in the gym, HIIT training? That's awesome. If you're into the gym and you like to work out, just drink this before. Here's the deal. What's your goal? Most people that go to the gym and work out, they still just want to get skinny and lose weight. Chanel is like, she's amazing. But would you agree, Chanel? Most people, that's still what the result is. So those other rules apply. I have a whole team of women I'm working with, and I'm telling them to work out less because they're not getting the results by overtraining. They're working out so much. So just keep this in mind. I love fitness and training, but you also need to be more responsible for your health and vitality. What do I mean by that is that drink your ketones before you work out, and then either have Keto Pro or ketones within 2 hours after your workout as a recovery shake. That's simple as that. Now, if you're trying to lose weight, still use the other principles. If you're working out a lot, you should be probably hungrier, so you should be eating more in some capacities, right? If you're training really hard, HIIT training, you're really pushing your body, working out every day a week, your calories should be higher than if you weren't working out. Does that make sense? I see too many women, and I'm blaming you women because I don't see it in dudes as much, but you're working out more and you're eating less. If you're working out high intensity, pushing your body, your calories better be higher than if you weren't working out at all. Does that make sense? You have to restore the energy for the work you're doing. Now, you still need to be less calories to burn extra body fat, but it shouldn't be really low. So I can't give you specific numbers to that, but I just want you to keep in mind, if you're more hungry when you work out, that's good. You got to eat more protein, more vegetables, right? Simple. I know it's crazy, but ketones before and ketones after. About 40 minutes before, start drinking them up to your workout, and then within 2 hours after, Keto Pro or Keto Nap. All right. I saw a question up here on, let me just go up here. Is this helpful, everybody? I know I'm going over a lot of things. I can do it all on different topics, and I'm just kind of going over everything. What about sweeteners like stevia, monk fruit? Yes, Kim, keto-friendly sweeteners I'm fine with. It's the Splendas, and like Starbucks has some low carb stuff, but they're usually not really geared towards. Here's what you got to know is that in the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot of low carb keto things out there, but because not all the things are regulated to certain ways, that they may actually not necessarily be. So you have to worry about that. And unfortunately, we're just going to only give you the best option. That's why I support Prove It, and the products here are so amazing, is because I know where they come from. I know what it is. I know how quality is. I know it's all keto friendly, and it's going to protect you. What if your weight loss has a plateau? Angie, that's a great question. Most likely you're not doing what you were doing before. Meaning that you started kind of getting away from what you were originally doing. Plateaus, the best way to break a plateau is a fast. So a 24 fast or a keto reboot. If you're in Europe, you can do a 24, especially with all of our products now, you can do a hybrid 24 fast. Give the suggestions. Replace your lunch for 3 or 4 days with Keto Pro, and then just eat dinner 3 or 4 days. That'll help. Move your body more, smile more. If you're on a plateau and you exercise all the time, most likely you should back off on your exercise, just do more walking, and that'll also often break a plateau. But here's the thing. Here's the thing is that, can I get just a little real with y'all? Plateaus, what you don't know, I don't want all right, I'll do it. So your body's always detoxing and going through health, right? If it took Melanie, let's say 10 years or 15 years to gain 100 pounds, as her body's dropping that 100 pounds, you all know where we store most of our toxins in our body. We store it in fat tissue. So as you're losing body fat, your body also has to get rid of a lot of stuff that's been stored for many years. So a plateau can sometimes be as simple as your body's trying to regulate and get healthy again. It's tapping into areas of your body that it needs to get rid of. So your body doesn't want to push a lot of toxins out at once. It could stress out your body. So plateaus have a lot of factors in here. There's so much going on in there. So once again, go back to the original thing. Is it if it took you 20 years to gain 100 pounds, it's going to take you at least 20 months to lose 100 pounds, right? And if you're only on month 6 or month 8, well, go back to the basics. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, go low carb, right? Do the little meal tricks that Dr. Jacob Wilson just gave. Drink plenty of water, smile more, and shake your butt and go move your body. Like literally let that happen. And if you're plateaued for 60, 90 days and you're doing all those things, then you maybe need to talk to your doctor because maybe something in your system is just not regulating right. So I hope that makes sense. I lost 3 stones in 14 weeks. That's pretty good. That's really good. I've plateaued throughout. Yes, plateaus are a foundational launch pad to keep your body going again. You plateau in business, you plateau in relationships. Anybody ever plateaued in a relationship where it just kind of like got status quo'd, where it wasn't like, oh my goodness, but it wasn't really bad? That's a plateau. Does that make sense? Anybody plateaued in their career? Anybody plateaued in their business? Anybody plateaued in the sports or athletic? It's normal. What happens when you plateau, there's wisdom to be gained. That's when you can step back and go, okay, what am I doing? First thing you want to do is ask yourself, are you doing what you did to get there? If you're not doing what you did to get there, you're not even plateaued. You just stop doing what's working, right? The second thing you want to do is you want to now go, okay, I'm here. How do I go to there? Maybe it is you got to start doing something different. You got to maybe add something or maybe take something away. Give you an example. People eat a lot of dairy when they start going low carb. Well, dairy can sometimes cause a limitation for people. Well, you might take dairy out and you go, boom, bust my plateau. Or maybe you're drinking alcohol the whole time and you're losing weight. You lost, 3 stone or you lost 30 pounds or 40 pounds and you're drinking alcohol and then you plateaued. Well, maybe it's time to cut the alcohol out. You cut the alcohol out, pops your plateau. Now, maybe you can add it back later, or maybe alcohol really messes your system up and it's not ideal for you. Now, I like me some drinks here and there. I want to have a cocktail in Northern Ireland. But here's the reality is that this gives you the opportunity to learn how you work. That's part of the journey. That's why nutritionists don't usually ever work. That's why trainers typically don't ever work long-term. Short-term, they get you results. But at the end of the day, if you don't learn how your body works and understand how you work and how you live and how everything operates, then you'll never get to your ultimate goal, which is have a sexy, happy, good life, a body that you appreciate and truly enjoy the world around you. Like that's the zen of it all. You won't get there if you don't learn your journey. Now, it doesn't mean the nutritionist and the coach and people like myself don't have a lot of wisdom and knowledge and perspectives to give you. But ultimately, we're trying to teach you how to be you. That's why Prove It and why our community, why our team is so amazing, is that we don't want to tell you what you need to do. We want to help guide you to help you figure it out. And we have a lot of little hacks to help you get there. Hope that makes sense. How much water should I drink a day? Hey, Kim, that's a great question. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. More. The short answer is more. In 5 years from now, there's going to be some science coming out that's going to even debunk that. I don't want to get into that's another day, another topic, another conversation. It's going to be a big change in the water world here shortly. But the 64 ounces that we used to hear, 8 cups a day, was made up. That was not true. It was just made up. It sounded like a good idea. Half your body weight in ounces is a good start. Half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you drink 100 ounces a day. The challenge is if you weigh 600 pounds, 300 ounces of water would be too much for you. That probably drowned you. Or if you're 80 pounds or 90 pounds and you're pretty active, 40 ounces might not be enough. So what I can tell you, the bigger you are, the more water you probably need. The smaller you are, the probably more water less you need. That's just simple math or simple biochemistry, I guess, from a weight perspective. What I'm looking for is satisfaction, hydration satisfaction. That's why I like a pinch of sea salt. That's why I love Mitoplex. If you don't have Mitoplex, oh my goodness, get Mitoplex, because it helps give you the essential minerals that goes into water that helps with hydration effect. drinking water isn't the only way you hydrate. Hydration has a lot to do electrolyte balancing, things like that. So that's why I always take electrolytes every day. Have for 25 years. I'm a huge fan of them. So I'm a huge fan of electrolytes. So add electrolytes to your water, and you might find that you drink less. Why? Because you're getting more efficiency from your water. You might find that you drink more because your body needs more electrolytes to restore for the next 30 days, and then you start balancing it out. So it can change. I watch my wife's breast milk capacity change based off electrolytes, just to show you the perspective. If she was drinking less electrolytes, her breast milk went down. More electrolytes, her breast milk went up. The water consumption was pretty much the same. Give you an example. So a lot more there to hydration. Can I powder? Yeah, absolutely. You can put powdered collagen. Collagen's great. I love collagen. Our US formula, medium chain fatty acid and bone broth has collagen, and it's wonderful. All right, guys, I think we're about ready to wrap up. I hope this was helpful. Was this helpful? I kind of hit everybody in the face a little bit. But I like coaching. What I found is we live in a world that we want to be told what to do. And I'll be the last person to tell you. Here's the thing is, if somebody tells you what's best for you, run the other way. Does that make sense? Like, in the situation, they might know what's best for you for that moment. Right? For that one moment, they might understand, hey, I've been there, do this right now and you'll get better. But if that's you think that's your end outcome, then you're going to fail. Like, you're not going to get there. Everybody's a little bit different. Is it that different? No, it's not. There's some fundamental truths and fundamental processes. Eat less food. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. That's pretty solid. Eat less processed food, more whole foods, more foods from nature. That's pretty solid. I can get down with that, right? Sleep at night. Yeah, I can get down with that. I'm good with sleep. Hydrate with some water. Yeah, I can get, you know what I mean? There's some truths. But as a whole, you know, if I go to Northern Ireland, because there's emotions involved, there's psychological involved, there's biochemistry involved, where you live in the world matters. If you live in the north versus the south, it's different. You live by the equator, you live in Russia, it's different, y'all. There's variables and factors that all matter here. So when people think that, hey, I'm just going to do what this person did, especially as we travel more and we're integrating cultures more, it's more complicated than ever before of what can work for people. And don't assume that it worked for your dad, it's going to happen to you. My wife and I are very different people metabolically. Our kids are different than both of us. And one's more towards me and one's more towards her. And the other one we don't know yet. If that makes sense. So our kids are going to eat differently. We can't just say, hey, you just eat what we eat. No, that's not going to work that way. They're different and they're going to have to be adaptable, but it doesn't have to be hard or complicated either. And you're going to learn that as you learn yourself. So is it still okay to take protein with sucralose in while taking ketones? Sucralose is an interesting one. A lot of research on sucralose will tell you that it's fine in small servings, and most often it doesn't. It depends if it's laced with something. Some of it, they lace it with some things that can spike your blood sugar. But sucralose is a tough one. I personally, actually, I'm not 100% against sucralose. I think in situations it can be very valuable. And if you're going to go out and you're going to have a little here and there, I would say I wouldn't even think twice about it. If you're emotionally not stressed about it, but if you get stressed and you're like, I can't do this, but sucralose is bad for me, but I really want this, I'd rather you choose the thing that may not be the most optimal. If that makes sense, then stress and worry. I think stress and worry will kill you faster than pretty much anything you eat. So I'd rather, if that's the trade-off, I would take that trade-off. But I would tell you, don't take high amounts. And what does a high amount means? I don't know. I don't have that research, but I know they've done some studies on it. But if the high amount was excessively, it would be hard to consume that much. So helpful, Dustin. Thank you. Love your energy and information. Karen, thank you for participating, y'all. I do have to go. I have to go pick up my kids. Appreciate y'all for being on. I'm out of here. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And if you're not drinking this magical powder, if you're not drinking Keto Nat, like honestly, you're missing the boat. It's simply the biggest breakthrough I've seen in my 20+ year career. It just makes sense. I had a lady, I just got a session done at MAT, and she's like, I've been dabbling in this for a while. I've been drinking it consistently for 30 days. She's like, wow, it really is amazing. Now she is a high level health nut, like at a whole nother spectrum. Like you only know like 8 of them in the entire world. Like at her level, like and she's like, I really do feel a difference. Like, and she knows all this stuff, and yet it's changing her life. How about all of us that don't know what she knows, right? Or don't have the discipline she has and the education she has? We need all the help we can get. This is the game changer. Whoever invited you, make sure you drink your product. Commit to 69 days. I'm going to say, just don't stop drinking it. In the next 2 years of your life, you won't even recognize how different you are as a person. And what you'll see is everybody around you that's not drinking ketones, you realize you are at a whole nother level, mentally, emotionally, physically, even spiritually. You're going to be living at a whole different spectrum. And it's pretty crazy and scary at the same time because you're watching people go backwards while you're going forward. It's pretty remarkable. With that said, I'm out. Appreciate you all. Let me know if you have any questions. I might do another live tonight. Cheers.